Hello bookish friends, welcome back to Amanda's Bookish Adventures. Now this is a book haul, but it's kind of a book haul, but I am going to talk a little bit about the books I have read. So we have hauled some and I don't have all of them because some are on their way because they're pre-orders. So I'm kind of doing a mix of February and January, so I'm just going to do hauled versus read. So far, the amount of books, mostly it's been manga and digital, but I'm going to try to get back on my physical TBR. I have read 35 books for the year. So, I know this is not all that I have hauled, but this is the majority of what I have physically here that is not on its way. So, I did haul Raiders of the Lost Heart by Joe Segarra. Now, I saw this pop up all over my feed in December, and then I got a really good deal on it, brand new, and I'm actually really looking forward to reading this, and I'm hoping to, I think March will be realistic, February is almost over, but I'm really excited. So it's an archaeologist, Dr. Sakura Carrie Majera, has a bone to pick, literally. It has been Carrie's life, or Corey, oh, it's Corey. Corey's life goal to lead an expedition deep into Mexico's jungle in the search of a long-lost remains of her ancestor Chimele, an ancient warrior of the Aztec Empire. When she's invited to join an all-expense-paid dig to just do that, Corey is sure it's too good to be true, and she's right. As the world-renowned expert on Chimele, Corey should by rights be leading this quest, not sharing the glory with her disgustingly handsome nemesis. But Dr. Ford Matthews has been finding new ways to best her since they were in grad school. Ford certainly isn't thrilled either with his life in shambles. The last thing he needs is a reminder of the rocky past. But as the dig begins, it is clear they'll need to work together. A thief is lurking around the campsite, forcing the pair to keep their discoveries and lingering attraction under wraps. With money-hungry artifact smugglers, the Mexican authorities, and the lies between them closing in, there's only one way this all ends: explosively. So I am actually really excited for this. It's really short, so I do think I will be able to knock this out in a day. Now, I did buy this with Raiders of the Lost Ark, Bookshops and Bone Dust by Travis Balder. It is a prequel, and even though I do own the first book, it's far away, and I would have to clean a stack of books to get it. So I'm hoping to get this read. I'm hoping to read the first book and this in the same time. They're reasonably small, but I'm really excited to get this started. Now, another book, my first book was Sprayed Edges. Now, I did buy books. It's a series of books off of a Kickstarter. It did come, but I bought that months ago and it did not come until the end of December. So I'm not going to haul it in this, but I will show it when I do start reading the series to reread the first one. So I got this one at Walmart. I was so excited. This was in perfectly good condition, and I know it's the start of a new series, but I don't know if it's a debut. So I'm not gonna read all of them, but I will read these. So, enter at your own risk and discover the greatest show on earth in an oh, it is a debut. In an explosive, darkly imaginative debut fantasy. For humans, the circus is a place filled with wonder and amazement. And for Harrow, though, it's been a place to hide through those who slaughtered her entire clan. Disguising her abilities as a part of her act has kept her true identity safe for years until he arrives. A strange new attraction with no name, no memory of who or even what he is, let alone an explanation for his odd yet deadly powers. But beneath the layers of anger and isolation, one glimpse into his inky eyes reveals a soul that calls out to the loneliness in her own, and so she chooses him. Harrow is drawn to the darkness, to her insatiable need to soothe the beast who threatens their very existence. But with every secret she unlocks from his past, another one from hers whispers free. As well, luring enemies who will stop at nothing to get their final revenge on Harrow. And she's afraid she's giving them the perfect weapon against her, because he's not what he seems. But maybe it is time to finally learn. Neither is she. Now, I saw this all over my feed, and I was at Walmart, and I saw it, and I'm really iffy with buying Sprayed Edges books, because if I can't see it in person, I was just going to go get it at Barnes & Noble, because I had a trip coming up, but it was there, and it was in perfect condition, so I got it. I am excited to read it. Now, I don't know when I will get to it. I'm not, like, some of these I know I'm going to get to really soon. I hate when that happens. Like, my TV was paused so long it decided to play itself. So I'm going to have to go back, delete a bit of the footage because I don't want to get copyrighted. I don't think it will, but you will never know. So, as I said, which I probably got deleted, I don't know when I'm going to get to this. I'm excited to read it. That's not the problem, but it's not jumping out to me right now. So I might put it on a TBR in a couple months, but I am glad I got it. Now, I do want to talk about this one. When I was a kid, my dad got me, not a kid, but like my early reading years, high school, into a romance book club, and they would ship mass markets to my house. The 4th book came, and this was before Goodreads, and I was so confused. I kept it because I love the cover, but this is the 1st book. They are reprinting the series, which I picked up when I was at Walmart. They're reprinting the series, so I'm so glad I got this edition because she has a newer book. I am currently listening to, that I got on Audible, I'm almost done, with The Winter King, which I'll talk about in a vlog. But I'm really excited to get the new editions of this. Hopefully they get printed soon, so they should be in an upcoming haul. So, once he drove back the darkness, once he loved with such passion, his name was Legend. After nearly destroying the world out of grief, legendary mortal fae king Rain Terran soul vanished into the fading lands for 1,000 years. But when an ancient and familiar evil arises to threaten the fae and Terran alike, he returns to the mortal world to seek the key to their salvation. Rain's search leads him, oh, I'm so not going to say this, Elseta, a wood carver's daughter who suffers from strange dreams connected to the secret and powerful magic she possesses. Mysterious and eternal, Ellie's soul sings to Rain, and I'm so glad. Ellie, I can remember, and say, an impossible, undeniable bond that blooms into a deep, faded love. Now, as they grow close together, Rain and Ellie must navigate court politics and family expectations, all while searching for a way to stop the rising darkness. A darkness that may be tied to Ellie's magic. Now, I'm excited. I will be buying the other editions. So I think there's 4, but I think they won't come out. But I'm gonna go check on Amazon and add them to the list, or just get them at Walmart. Now, I'm going to talk about the books and then I'll talk about the manga. So, one is a sequel, which when I show you, you don't need me to read the first, you'll see it. But this was all over my Kindle feed, and then I tried to read it off my Kindle or even the Kindle app, but it got picked up. So it got took off Amazon Kindle. Now this is the 1st book. I do plan, because of how so popular and it just is right up my alley, I do plan on buying the other 2 books. The 2nd book is out and the 3rd book is coming out next week. So this is The Time I Got Drunk and Saved a Demon by Kimberly Lemming, or Laming. Spice trader Cinnamon's quiet life is turned upside down when she ends up on a quest with a fiery demon in this irreverently quirky rom-com fantasy that's sweet, steamy, and funny as hell. All she wanted to do with her life to do with her life in peace. All she wanted to do was live her life in peace. Maybe get a cat, expand the family spice farm, really anything that didn't involve going on an adventure where an orc might rip off her face, but they say the goddess has her favorites, and if so, Sin is clearly not one of them. After Sin is in a wine-drunk stupor, saves the demon Fallon, he reveals that all he really wants to do is kill an evil witch enslaving his people, and who can blame him? But now he's dragging Cinnamon along for the ride, whether she likes it or not. On the bright side, at least he keeps burning off his shirt. So it is another small one. It will be, I'm excited for it. I plan on picking up the next 2 with a gift card that I'm going to get for my birthday. But yes, I'm excited, and I'm probably going to read this next month. Now I'm going to show you the book I got. This is not a surprise. I do need to read the first 2 and reread a series. House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas. The size alone intimidates me. But on release day, because I couldn't get the pre-ordered signed edition or even the pre-order Barnes & Noble exclusive, I went out to Barnes & Noble and got it right when they opened. I left my house, got the book, and she's like, we sold out. The bookseller, or I think it was the checkout, she's like, that is so popular. It's been sold out for months. I was like, that is why I came here. And I'm not looking at anyone's media, social media, anything, so I do not get spoiled. I do need to start, but I need to finish my reread of Crescent, A Court of Roses and Thorns, the ACOTAR series before, because they said to read A Court of Silver and Flames before this one, and I have not done that, so that will be a big priority, and then I will start the trilogy. But I'm not going to get spoiled. I'm not looking at social media. I'll just skip stories if I have to. Now, my last book, and this is a pre-order that just came, another Barnes & Noble exclusive, Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. I don't know what... The cover is very similar to the one on Walmart, so I'm just thinking it's the cover, because I thought the cover was the exclusive edition. I don't know. So, a vampire bride, or vampire bride, and an alpha werewolf forming a dangerous alliance in the enthralling new paranormal romance. Misery Lark, daughter of a powerful vampire councilman, is an outcast. Her days of living anonymously among the humans are over. She has been called upon, and an alliance between the vampires and their mortal enemies, the Wares. Wares are ruthless and unpredictable, and their alpha, Lowell Morland, is no exception. He rules his pack with absolute authority, but not without justice or feeling. It's clear from the way he looks at Misery, every movement, that he doesn't trust her. If only he knew he was right. Misery has her own reasons to agree to the marriage of convenience. Reasons that have nothing to do with politics or alliances, and everything to do with the one thing she's ever cared about, and she is willing to do whatever it takes to get back what is hers. Now, I'm not saying I got spoiled, but I did hear a lot about this, so I stopped. I am planning on reading this week. It was a birthday present to myself. I pre-ordered it. I want to read it before I do get spoiled. And I'm really excited because I've only read Ali, even though I need to read her latest other stuff that's came out that I own. I'm really excited to see how Ali Hazelwood is going to do in the paranormal romance. So I'm very excited about that. Now let's talk manga. Now this one is a new one, and there's only 1 volume out, and I have not read this one yet, but I have read some of these. Disobey the Duke if you dare. It's from Monta. Once you see who I truly am, the marriage will be far worse. After the death of her second husband, Lily is forced into a third marriage by her father. Her new husband, a duke, is rumored to be a monstrous warmonger. But to her surprise, he turns out to be a kind and thoughtful man. The only catch is she must never see his face. Will Lily respect his wishes, or will she disobey the Duke? Now the cover, I can't, like, it's really pretty. So I'm actually really excited to get reading into that. Now I have read the first 4 volumes of My Gentle Beast, but this was new. I have not read volume 5. It is about Blondina, who is a princess who's been outside of the royal family. She was born from a previous relationship of the king. She goes in there, meets Aemon, and he's a god. Well, not a god, but he's a shifter that will lead, a panther that will lead his pack, and there's conflict between the humans and this shifter, these leopards. I think it's the leopard clan, and Blondina builds a friendship and a connection with Aemon, and it's their story going throughout. So this has been read. I didn't know that was Ben's, but that's okay. This is not yet, but I will be reading this probably next month, to be realistic. Now, this is the only one I hauled, but I did read the first, all of these. So, villains are destined to die. So, Penelope, I don't remember if her real name was said in the beginning of the manga, but she reincarnated into an Otomi game as Penelope the villainess. She is avoiding death flags, trying to get a good ending before the actual game starts on easy mode. She is on hard mode. There are some romance. I don't have a favorite love interest. I am rooting for her to live. Now, this current Penelope has gotten a little revenge on situations. She has stood up for the Penelope in the past. So I'm very intrigued to see where we go. I read this. I have previously read this on whatever one it came off. I think it was Webtoon. It doesn't say like the other one did, but this volume I did not know, and then volume 4 I did not know what was going to happen. Now, this is one of the things. Volume 6 will be on its way. It will come out sometime, actually in a couple days. It should be shipped to my house. So I'm very excited to get back into volume 6, which I will pick up in March. But I don't think I'm going to control myself. I kind of need to know what happens. Now, this I haven't read yet, but I have read on the site, but I'm going to be rereading this to count. So it's A Stepmother's Marchen, a full fantasy graphic novel of romances, drama, and second chances. The Americanist Shuri Vaughn, I'm not saying the last name, was just a teenager when her husband died, leaving her to manage his lands and raise his children, even though she was young enough to be their sibling. Despite her dedication to her duties, other nobles conspire against her, and her stepchildren reject her as their mother, leaving her a hardened pariah in her own home. But when she leaves for a new residence during her eldest stepson's wedding, the Marinist dies, wakes up in the past on the day of her husband's funeral. If Shuri is to live these 7 years difficult years all over again, she's going to do things differently. Can Shuri write her own fairy tale ending this time around? This is a hit webtoon also known as The Fantasy of a Stepmother. I have volume 1, volume 2, volume 3 is on the way, and then I may have pre-ordered volume 4. So that is it for my book haul. I think this is everything. There's probably some I've missed that's not in this room right now, but I'm filming this in the middle of the night because I woke up from a nightmare, so I just figured I would give an update on what I've read. So let's count how many I've hauled that I physically have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I've read 35 books. Most of it was the manga, but I've hauled 13. So I've kind of kept the balance the same. I think it's 22, if my math is correct, that I have read either physically, digitally, whatever. So I did get rid of a bunch before this, and I'm going to keep getting rid of old ones that I know I'm not going to pick up again. So far, 13 books for 2 months and stuff being shipped on its way is not bad. I mean, last year, I have all the books that I bought for my birthday last year staring at me in the face right now on my little dresser things. So that's not bad. 13 is pretty good. And with that gift card, the next haul first read, I will tell you, I might just continue just saying how many books I've read in a year, and with the reading challenge, my Goodreads challenge, and then tell you how many I've hauled. So I need to write that down, but 13 plus the 2 that are on their way, that's 14, 15, but which I'll haul that next month sometime towards the end. It is the 19th of February. There's still possible buying more books and manga. I don't talk about what I buy digitally because honestly, that would be so much more, but that is okay. 13 books, I've done good, and I've read 35. Most of it was manga this year, but that is good. So 35% of my Goodreads goal is done. Now, for the next couple of months, I really want to focus on reading what I physically own. I'm sure I'll read off my Kindle because I pay for Kindle Unlimited and Audible. And I do have Libby, and I do have some holds that I just don't want to buy the book. So I'll probably read off that. But my priority for the next couple of months is to read my physical TBR. Now, I'm sorry I've ranted. It's been a while since I've done a haul. I hope you enjoyed this. If you've read any of these, let me know. I should move one of these up to my priority up to read soon. I'm sorry, it's the middle of the night. Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.